Howdy. Did I? Okay, yeah. Just making sure I had all the lights on. How's it going? We're gonna write tests today. I'm sure that'll be fun. Adam is going to write tests for some of the monetization/payment code. How's it going, Alex? How's it going, Kojima? So if there's time after that, he may find something else to do, or he may just end the stream. Yeah, today may be a short stream. I'm not sure how I want it to go afterward because there's a lot of work to do off stream, but doing it on stream might be tough. And I just haven't really decided how I want to tackle this. So, for example, there's some Steam work about getting builds. Actually, maybe I can do that. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I'll do the test first because those I definitely have to do. So let's go start up the test framework. Yarn run test watch. Okay. So make sure no production API points at the platform sandbox. Otherwise, it's possible that users don't have to spend real money to get anything. Yeah. Hey, Element. I wonder how we're going to do this. So we have external API monetization, and we have things for sandbox code in ask Apple to verify there. Ask Google to verify. How do Google Sandbox purchases work? Google Sandbox, I think, is app specific. So I don't think there's a URL for that. But then Steam also has a Sandbox URL. So I guess it's just Apple and Steam. Apple and Steam have Sandbox specific URLs. There are a couple different ways we could try this out. So ask Apple to verify has use prod URL passed in. Maybe we just prevent this from being the sandbox in production. I guess that's kind of already what's happening. Hey, Resu. Hey, Neochromer. Hey, Drumming. You won't be able to complete the full depot setup, I think. Although once created, I may be able to edit myself, launch paths, and install scripts. Not sure. I set up depots yesterday, but yeah, I didn't upload any code yet. Yeah, I'll have to look into that because you and I were going to meet at some point and I wanted to be ready for that meeting. Anyway, this has used prod URL here, so I guess there's no real way for this to go wrong, but then how would I verify that it hasn't gone wrong? I guess what we could do is if you pass in true here, we could make sure that the URL we call into does not have sandbox in it. Yeah, that would work. Okay, call ask Apple to verify with use prod URL equal to true. And ensure that the word sandbox does not appear. And vice versa. And then what's the Steam way of doing this? There is no Steam function in this file, is there? Steam has some get Steam URL to call. Yeah. Do the same with this. Okay, so what we could change this to is just have it pass in the prod URL, or have it pass in the URL, and then we'll test just a single function here. Can't I use environment variables for this? Well, so what I'm thinking is right now, ask Apple to verify is 2 steps. Step 1, get the right URL, and then step 2, call that URL. Right? This is just at a very high level. So this is in the same function. So I think what we should do is split into 2 functions. Get Apple verification URL, use prod URL or something like that, and then ask Apple to verify. And what I'll do is I'll test this function to make sure it doesn't return the sandbox when this is true. I think that'll work pretty well. With that said, can't I use environment variables? Yeah, so the use prod URL thing just does come from an environment variable here. It's basically the is AWS thing, which is an environment variable underneath. Okay, so ask Apple to verify. Let's go change this to export function get Apple. What do I call it? Get Apple verification URL. Use prod URL. Okay, so we're just going to do this. URL equals get Apple verification URL. Use prod URL. Done, done, done. Then we put this code up here and we return it. That's that. Okay, and now we can call this function. So where do I do this? Still relying on some other code providing the correct parameter. A bit risky, maybe. Well, even if I'm using environment variables, I'm still relying on other code to provide or to make sure that that was set. Oh, thanks, Kenkomatics. Thanks for the bits. It's the first cheer in like 2.5 weeks, I think. Yeah, neat. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's in one place and with no logic attached to it, but yeah, I guess both ways are fine. Yeah. Because, yeah. Yeah, I think I'll go forward with this. All right, what other tests do we have here? We have this one. On PTO. Welcome back, Mitch. I was on non-PTO the last couple of weeks, except for the last 2 days. But yeah, thanks for resubbing. All right, so we'll say should only return sandbox URL when use prod URL is false. That's kind of, it's not the greatest thing. I guess I'll do this. Should only return sandbox URL. Yeah, this is better. Okay, then we'll make this just a regular function. Hey, Teddy. So as far as I'm concerned, this function is very simple to test. We just get the function, which comes from here. And then we say expect false to match snapshot and true to match snapshot. Done. Do they work through Google Play? Yeah. So when you say the app, if you mean the Android app, then yes, of course. But the iOS app would not. So again, remember we have 4 payment platforms: iOS, Android, Itch, and Steam. And each one needs to use only its specific thing. Is this the one dark theme? Oh, thanks, Kenkomatics. Yeah, it is. Incision. Hey, Blizzix. Yeah, day 706. How are you doing? And test with undefined? Okay. Throw in a test for undefined. You know what we could do? We could have this default to true. Does that make sense? Spending money, yeah. This defaults to true so that any accidental calls won't automatically grant a purchase, I guess. Hey, Clayman. I'm doing well. Hey, DevCam. Yeah, okay, so that should work. Let's go try this out. Maybe throw off undefined. You may want to have some warning about your code not providing this. Yeah, that's a good idea. Verification URL. Assert not is nil. Use prod URL. Use prod URL not specified. This is dangerous. So I'm just going to delete this comment because I don't think it's that helpful now. Hey, Taz. Saw you join Discord. What's your very serious question, Mitch? So ensure, let's just make a new a new thing for that. Okay, so monetization test is this one for nil or null. I prefer null, but Lodash named the function is nil. Except for that's probably because JavaScript has the concept of null. It does not have the concept of nil. And is nil tests to see if x is just double equal to null, which means this or this. So in this case, if we were to just say is null, you might think it's just this test. So anyway, I don't know. Hey man. So did this work? Yes, it worked. But now we have snapshots, and so we don't really know that it worked unless we go look at the snapshot. So where's this? Yeah, it's probably... I'll just make different tests. Should return sandbox when use prod URL is false, so that's this. Should return production when use prod URL is true, so that's this. And then should throw when use prod URL is undefined. Okay. Now, there is a jest way of doing this that I never remember. Verify an error was thrown. I think it's just to throw. Yeah, I think it's just to throw. And I don't care what the error says. I just care that it errors. So let's see if that works. Hey, Play with Scissors. Hey, SciMaster. It's test day. That's right. Did you change your username, Kenkomatics? You had a 2 at the end. I didn't even notice. I thought you just capitalized the K. Yeah, sure. Okay, there you go. Alright, did this work? Use prod URL is not specified. This is dangerous. This did not work. Just testing. Closure missing, I think. Probably that. Yeah, this is the prequel. Then he's gonna be Kenkomatics -1. Is monetization working? No. And nothing is in prod anyway yet. Okay, so now the snapshots will be a little more obvious. So it says, should return production when it's true, correct. Should return sandbox when false, correct. Yeah. I do use Bing as the day-to-day search engine, yes. Why not just put the function literal instead of a closure wrapping it? That would work too in this case, I think. Yeah. I think we could do that. Just doing it. Type the code. The bot just answered? Oh yeah, I mean I triggered the bot command there. I think this will work. And if not, whatever, I'll just change it back. Take it back then. Take back your filthy points. Okay, cool. Yeah. And that's fair. In this case we can do it because there are no this parameters or anything. All right, that one's done. The next is get Steam URL to call. Is this even a function? It is. Amazing. Claim it. Okay, so we'll do the same sort of thing over here, except for this comes from a different... Oh wait, what? Am I already testing this? Oh wow. I am. Wow, that's kind of cool. I don't know I wrote a test for that. Okay, well we're done with that then. Neat. Now, use prod URL. I guess we could make sure that this is defined too. And then we could do the same sort of thing we did before. So, there. Or we could assert that everything is declared. Probably doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't really matter though, does it? Just the use prod URL. Okay, okay, yeah, so now we'll add one quick test over to here. Should fail when use prod URL is not specified. So we'll just say undefined for this. And this time it's personal. Okay, that should work. Hey Sharky, hey Eagle. Got all the animals coming into chat now. Nice. Except for, did that work? Yeah, there it is. Oh, I see. I read 6 pass and I'm like, but 6 pass before too. That's just the snapshot test. Okay. Or test for is Boolean in case it's missing totally. You mean if it's a wrong number? I think this is fair. Is not a Boolean. Can I make this fit on one line? Yes, if I say bool, I can. Then that's what we're going to do. So that one's good. That one's good. Or is the wrong type. A Boolean is expected. Hey Jupiter. I mean for Steam, it could see the string URL as defined if it's missing the first parameter. Yeah, but this will now catch that because, I mean, I should still add in a test. Have a nice shower yesterday evening? Yes, I did. I went to the gym yesterday and yeah, I want to shower again this morning. Also, since my in-laws have been visiting, we are running very low on towels. So I don't want to use my towel again. I need to run it through the wash today. Actually, that's something I should add to my list for things to buy tomorrow. Buy a new towel. There. Thanks, M. Perry. Thanks for that. No, they're all single-use towels, playing with scissors. Okay, so make sure that omitting the first argument entirely causes a failure. Because nothing else here is a Boolean. I mean, we might as well purposely verify these things too. Is string API name. API name must be a string. And API version, I guess, can be a number or a string. We can make it be a number. There it is. There's the real resub. Thanks, Ramy. Hey, you safe. Are they weighted towels? You tried throwing it in the laundry pile, it just falls through the floor. Actually, this has to be an integer. And this will be API version must be an integer. Okay, should fail when parameters are the wrong types or are omitted. Okay, so undefined for first param, string for first param, omitting the first param. Now we need a Boolean, but I don't know, a number for the second param. And then we need string 1. Okay. Hey Ghetto. I don't understand a lot of English, but this seems interesting. Aha! Do you know Hideo? Apparently you do. Okay, hang on, let me try this out. No one from another stream. Okay, well there's my very limited French. Hey, Lithium. Okay, so this all works. All right, next up. When we delete an account, Make sure that user ID gets nulled out in purchases common and salvage pack purchases. Yeah, I didn't do this. Is a wrapper on the website? Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is a monetization database test. Did I not make any of those? Oh, DB monetization, not monetization DB. I see. Okay, so I'm not totally sure how we're gonna do this, but I know it needs to be done. So purchases common. So whenever you make a purchase, you end up with your user ID in this table. However, when you delete your account, I don't want your user ID to exist any longer. So the whole point was just to make sure that it gets nulled out here. Yeah. So if I do show create table purchases common, it should be automatic. Constraint on delete set null. Yeah. Yeah, it should be automatic. And then what else did I have? And salvage pack purchases? What is that? Did I even make that table? No, I didn't. Okay, I don't know what that is. Did I ever reference this anywhere else? Maybe I renamed it before I got to this section. Oh, yeah, look at that. I ended up deleting this though, why? Update, I'm scratching this table completely since product SKUs exist. Oh, cool. How smart. Okay. Well, we can delete this then. That's why you keep your to-do list around. Do you track the amount spent by person in total? So, kind of, but Hideo had suggested that I don't track that exactly because each platform is going to give me tracking tools. So if I show you product SKUs, here we have a cost. And that cost for right now is always in US cents. So if it's 100, it represents $1, just like bits. And then that purchases common table tells me who made a purchase and what the SKU is. So you can see there's a SKU here, and then there's who made the purchase here. Well, I guess you could look at them up here. So do I know how much a user spent? Kind of, because of this cost parameter, but that won't include tax, it won't include discounts, it won't include whatever other stuff, I don't know. Like, you know, Steam takes a 30% cut. It's not gonna include that. So, and I don't care about that so much. But I'll have a rough estimate, so if I ever want a Metabase table that says like how much revenue am I pulling in, I could kind of see that. Have you thought about a watch ad get in-game currency feature? Yeah, like way later down the line. Yeah, I'd rather not do that anyway. Okay, so yeah. So how do we make a user? Create user. And technically we should create 2 of these. So we'll say deleting a user account should null out user ID in purchases common. So make sure we null out the, maybe I should change this. Should properly update payment related tables. So make sure we null out the user ID in purchases common. 2 is going to be make sure the record of the purchase still exists in the platform specific table. And I think that's pretty much it. Hey Boston, do you have really faded writing on your shirt? Yeah, it's really faded. This shirt's very old. I think it was just a clothing company logo. Although at this point I don't remember which one. Okay, so we make a user. We need to get a purchase here. How do we do that? I don't remember any of this. Hey, squirrel. Oh, okay. So we have some code to do this here. How does this work? Create a SKU. And we give it a SKU name and everything. And then call claim itch purchase on that. This should work fine. Where's create skew? Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll just say like function create test skew. Simple wrapper around create skew so that we don't have to specify details when the skew isn't important. Okay. So I want to do this. We're going to call this here, I guess. Oh, wait. That. And we're going to copy all of that up to there. If I could paste in the right spot. There we go. Okay, so we have a skew name, and we want to return that skew name. And this needs to be async. These apparently don't matter. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Now, was it important over here? I guess not. Yeah, I don't think so. So we could have just said const skew name equals await this, and then deleted at least all of that and this one. Do any of these other ones matter? Maybe we should get back all the details. Yeah, we should. Cost, does cost matter? Yes. Purchase type, does purchase type matter? Yes. Okay, so let's change this around a little bit. Skew name, num, salvage packs, cost, and purchase type. And that doesn't really remove lines. I guess it's okay. And now we need to return all of those things. Let's just do it this way. There. Okay, so what do we want over here? We want to make the purchase pretty much the same way. I don't care if the purchase went through because other tests are going to test that for us. So I suppose let's just copy all of this and then delete what we don't need. Okay, let's take a look. So I don't care about your starting value of this. Yeah, I guess I kind of care about this. And purchase ID, sub-purchase ID. These don't really matter. And skew name, we do need the skew name. There we go. Now we want to make sure we have one row in each. Then we want to delete your user. Oh, yeah. We want to check that stuff too. Okay, so delete user. How do we do that? Delete account. Delete the user so the JWT disappears. Fake account server ham. Why? Is AWS false? Okay. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like this. We must have a way to delete an account that doesn't look like that. Well, we have create user, so I guess let's just add in delete user, user ID, and then do all this stuff from over here. Delete account. Where does this come from? We don't ever use this anywhere else. That's fine. Good. This would be as db delete account. Yeah. And we want to use this like so. So DB framework, where do we get connects from? This dot database wrapper. Good. Yeah, that's it. And this is DB delete account. Okay, so now that we have that function, we don't need to do things this way. We could have just said DB framework delete user. Except for that's not even what it's called. No, it is. User ID. Delete that. Now, anywhere else that this is needed? Just here. Good. Anywhere, so now this is gone. Hey Jesse, how you doing? And this is only used here for delete all inactive guests. Yeah, okay. That's fine, I suppose. No, I'm gonna put this lower where it's being used. Okay, so now we want the same function, which we get from just DB framework. Delete user. Hours worked on Botland. I guess you could just sum up all the different VODs that are there. But I think in general, if you look at this, I think this will have it. Can this show you how many hours I've streamed? Total hours streamed per month. Yeah, so if you were to just sum up all of these numbers, you'd get your answer of how much I've streamed and then add like maybe 10 or 20%. Been in Berlin for a month, flying home tomorrow. Nice, how was it? Delete user. Okay, so now the user is gone. So we want to make sure that the user ID is null. The skew should still be set correctly. And then this should all be exactly what we expected it to be, which is hard-coded to just purchase ID and subproduct ID. I guess, fine, I'll change this. Yeah, so we'll get rid of these string values here. And that should be good, right? Expected common data ID, yep, that's good. And then rep val, what is rep val? The part from claim to make sure you got what you needed. I don't care about that. 3 hours, yeah, that sounds about accurate. I wasn't very productive. Okay, does that work? So we want to run this one. Oh, visiting family and friends, nice. And it's good that it's been great. Because being in a different place for a month can be pretty tough sometimes. I find that almost no matter where I am, after about a week, I kind of want to just go home. Even if I'm having a good time, I get homesick very quickly. At least I think a week is probably quick. And I think it has poisoned my wife as well. I think she wasn't that way, but I think maybe seeing me be that way has made her mind be like, yeah, that's a good way to be. Let's be homesick. Hey, Pop, any advice for people who want to start a project like yours? For example, what was way harder than you expected? I have some generic advice there for just kind of learning and doing stuff. And then I have it, whoops. Oh, that's not what I meant to click. I have something where if I could start over, what would I do differently? So in general, my biggest piece of advice is actually from this document, I think, although I never mention it by that word, but it is scope. Make sure the scope of your project is sane. So if you make a project that takes 10 years, you might have 10 years of time, and that could be sane. Most people do not have 10 years of time to work on a project like this. So I would say, let's say you aim for your project to be like 6 months. It will probably end up taking 18 months. So this is still kind of a reasonable time for most people. And then that's if you were aiming based on time. Typically though, you're gonna aim based on features. So let's say you were making a game. I would say, don't make World of Warcraft. Try making something like, Chrono Trigger instead. Obviously I'm being very general here, but I think scope is the biggest project killer. Well, scope's the biggest project killer for people who know what they're doing. I guess if you're like 12 years old and you're starting out coding, it's probably not scope so much as it is you have no idea how to do projects. But yeah, I'm assuming you're not 12 years old. Hey, War Eagle. Good evening to everyone but me, who gets a great evening. I appreciate that. Yeah. As long as you're 13 in May, I think everything's fine. Okay, so this is done. And this worked, which I didn't really expect it not to work, but it's nice that it does. So maybe write tests to call into Google and Apple's sandboxes. I'm not sure how hard that would be. I don't think it's worthwhile to automate this, but I should manually test this. I did manually test the Google part. I didn't test the Apple part. Hey, Leftist. I've written tests. Yeah. well, I tested Google's version of this. The iOS code hasn't been written yet. All right, so test what happens from the user's perspective if you partially copy the redemption link on itch. For example, if you don't have the JWT at all for some reason, users should probably see a meaningful error message. Yeah, I should probably do that. How's the time off streaming? It was largely good. There are a couple of things that were nice about not streaming, and then a couple of things that weren't so nice. So the pros of not streaming, man, I do not like this thing. It keeps putting in the old text. Pros of not streaming was less stress, no real schedule needed, and ability to listen to music. And I would say focus, but in quotation marks. And the cons were no chat interaction, no one to share things with. Hideo got a lot of spam from me. I just kept telling Hideo what I was doing. He turned into Twitch.tv. Did I get a GUICube email with our production schedule? Let me tell you, that was the first any of us had seen it. I don't think I did. At least. And yeah, no one to make me laugh. Okay, so for this one, we need the staging server to be online. Where do I do this? Monetization, edge. The staging server here. Okay, so it's still online. That's good. Did you see the t-shirt? No, I didn't. Yeah, that bot is on point. How does he know exactly what to say? So I guess let's just go through this as though I'm a regular user, but that I somehow am an idiot. So a regular user, that's redundant. Let's try this. Hit buy, go over to here. I purchased this. Let me use pay with card. I'm gonna use it off screen only because it sometimes autofills with my real credit card, and I don't want it to do that. Your postal code is incomplete? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I purchased a salvage pack. Let's just... Oh... I don't like it. I'm sorry. But I don't think it has any real personality. And it's also not very clear what the shirt's about. And you guys had like killer artists, so I don't know why you wouldn't show off the artwork that they did. It's probably Ellipsis Man. Ellipsis Man is just throwing periods out there. 3 at a time. So what I was wondering about is, what if you somehow copied this link wrong? What would happen? So let's say we just got rid of the last character. That's enough for it to just be completely wrong, because now the signature will be broken. So now we go to this URL, which, whoops, I meant to change it to that. So we go to the URL. Does it show an error to the user at all? Something went wrong. No, okay. That kind of sucks. Because something did go wrong, and maybe over here it tells you what went wrong. Yeah, invalid signature. Although that shouldn't even print, probably. Hey, Killer Croc. Well, I have some like client-side error handling thing. So you have no specific errors, you have specific errors, you care about generic errors, but also want to fall back to catch any 500s. Yeah, this. In this case, you have general errors like this. You want to handle that there may be sensitive information about why it was returned. Yep, sounds exactly like my case. You put a catch around the entire dispatch call, handle the error, then mark your error as already handled. Wow, I'm so glad I wrote these notes. Okay, let's go do that. So all we need to find is where we're calling claim itch purchased. I think it's in the my player file or something. There it is. And then it says put a try catch around here. Can I do that? Or no, just put a catch on here. Catch error and then do something to handle the error here. Yeah, so let's put a modal dialog there that says hello world error. Okay. Hey Goose. I am doing well. Hope you're doing well too. Let's try this. So it should say just hello world when we sign in. Yeah, perfect. And then nothing else. Excellent. WR CEO, he also sent a newsletter email promising all these things for the coming month without running it by any of us. Oh no. I'm sorry, Leftis. Leftis, are you on a Windows computer? Well, yeah. I'll type this anyway. Oh wait, whoops. I made a typo as I... Sorry. Finger was in the wrong spot. It's a 0133. Okay. So we got the error here. What we want this to say is something like there was a problem redeeming your purchase. How many screens do I have? Just 2. If you take a look at that picture, you'll see. I mean, I'll just show it on stream so you don't have to open it. But yeah. There's a problem redeeming your purchase. Try, e.g. the link was malformed or copied incorrectly. Try redeeming the purchase from your email again. Yeah, from the, let's just leave it at that. What's the command for showing how long the user subbed? There's no command for that. You just hover over the user's name and it says like 1 year subscriber. I don't think there's a command for that at least. Or maybe if you click someone's name, it'll show you. I don't know. I don't remember. Guess there's something of all the hours. Is it you, Save? 7 other DMs say they couldn't finish reading the first book because of the ellipses. That bothered me more than it should have, though, Leftis. Like, I think other people might just grin and bear it. I was getting angry. I'm gonna make a t-shirt. The good, the bad, the angry. Angry. I'll type it like the internet users. The memers out there. Okay, so I think this is fine now, as long as we didn't overwrite any other error messages. So for example, what if this is expired? So by now, I think 10 minutes have passed, right? You paid for this on 16/17 and it is now 16/24. Okay, no, never mind, we haven't waited long enough. Well, let's do this in a couple minutes then. If a user specifies an expired token, I should send them back to itch. I'll wait a second for this. Yeah, I'll wait a second for this. Let's put this at the bottom so that I know for sure that I can do this. Yeah. All right, if I close the initial redeem dialog, how do I redeem the salvage pack? I think the answer is through your email. I don't think there's a test for this. I think you just find the email from itch. Yeah, all other platforms will have some similar way of doing this. Yeah. 6,140. I've streamed for over 5,000 hours. Oh yeah, Pop, that's not a picture of what my desk looks like now. There are books and video games underneath the monitors, which is only elevating them probably like 2 or 3 inches, but still I think it's good. Man, that's crazy. Also a point to you for actually summing that up. But if it's a V-neck. Oh, cool, Jesse. Yeah, congrats. It's always interesting to be on the front page of any sort of website like that. Make sure claiming products happens in a transaction. I already know for sure that it does, although this is one of the few things we should have written an explicit test for. How will we do that? Database monetization. There's claim purchase common, starts a transaction, and then calls claim. Well, how do you test that it's in a transaction? You'd have to have some artificial delay and then try to have 2 transactions run and make sure they don't run like that. I don't know. Or test whether they're both atomic. That would work. Well, I don't think I'm going to write a specific test for this. Conclusion, I don't think it's worth writing a specific test for this. So it's VoiceDot, welcome back. Thank you for the resub. 3 months. Or you're overwriting a method inside the transaction and generating an error, then check if something was left over. Let me think of how, so the transaction in this case is going to be protecting me from reading how many salvage packs you have from 2 transactions, then updating them both so that you don't end up getting the number of packs you need. So a typical race condition problem. And this is going to be prevented by just being in a transaction. So I was wondering, because like, I think the normal database semantics are that the second session to try to acquire a lock that can't will just wait. So we could try spamming this with like 40 different purchase codes, maybe, and make sure that we end up with the right number at the end every time. That might work. Hey, Wolf. Yeah, maybe it's worth doing. Maybe try spawning like 50 purchases at once and make sure they all go through. Hey, Toulouse. Okay. Yeah. Now it's the critical part of the application. Well, so the reason why I don't think this is super important is because think of what it would take to even have a race condition work when it comes to purchasing. So like the most basic race condition is something like this. You say, you know, read num salvage from database and then add 1 and then store num salvage in database. Let's actually just combine this in one step. So this is your typical really basic race condition. You have 2 threads or 2 sessions that are doing this, and instead of being ordered like this, where you read, store, they get ordered like this. So now you make 2 purchases, but you only end up getting +1 instead of +2. So classic race condition, right? For you to even hit this, even if I didn't have a transaction, in real life, imagine you're on your phone, you press the buy button, it goes through whatever authentication it needs to go through, you press the final thing. That would have taken at least like 3 seconds. So it's incredibly unlikely that this would happen even if I had no code to protect against it. And I have code to protect against it. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a test for it, but I just don't think it's super important. A good idea, Co. You're on mobile, so the latency is higher and network outages more often. Wait, so again, that was assuming you even made 2 purchases back to back. How frequently do you think this will ever happen? Probably like less than 1% of purchases will result in another purchase right after. And the only way that I could see that happening is, let's say you split it up to be like 5 packs, 10 packs, 50 packs. They need to buy whatever the max is multiple times, which I have seen people do. It's just not very common. And this is why I'm saying I'm going to write the test for it anyway. And I don't think there's going to be a problem, but yeah. But yeah. Okay, so let's try that out. How do we even do this? Where did the test go? So we're going to say ensure no race conditions across multiple purchases. So this test this test will try purchasing something many times in a row. No, many times concurrently. In a row is sequentially. Purchasing something many times concurrently to ensure that there are no race conditions. Race conditions are addressed largely by processing purchases in a transaction. All right, so how we do this? How do we do it? So we can only claim a purchase once. How does this work? Oh, other stuff would have verified this first. I see. Okay. So we actually do want code that's pretty similar to this. So we get a user. We get SKU name, but we also need num salvage packs. The finger I hit B with. So given the keyboard that I have, I can only really hit it with the left pointer finger. I could just hold the keyboard up. It's going to be faster than waiting for this thing to load. So you can see there's a split right down the middle of the keyboard. So when you have, let me show it the other way around. When you have your right hand here, if you try hitting B, you have to do that. That is not very comfortable. So on a normal keyboard, sometimes people do hit the wrong left hand or right hand key, but that's not really that easy to do here. All right, so how are we gonna do this? Let's say like const num purchases to make equals 50. That should be fine. Let's try it out. Okay, so now we need to do times, so const purchase promises equals this. Return claim each purchase. Now let's just put all this stuff here. Okay, is this all good? I think this is good. Yeah, and then await promise.all purchase promises. When they're close, you can change which finger you use depending on the previous character. Yeah. SCNR, what does that mean? Oh, Celtic, welcome. Thanks for the sub. Oh, it weirdly capitalized the Mr. Destructoid. Sorry, could not resist. Bag of gummy bears left in the sun. Oh, I see. The keyboard. Yeah. Yeah, Celtic. You're a review bot. Thanks for subbing. Alright, so purchase promises are all here. Now that we're done with that, we want to make sure that we got exactly the right number of rows, which is going to be equal to num purchases to make. And then we don't need to delete anything. Now we need to check to see if you have all of the salvage packs that you should have been granted. So expected num salvage packs equals this times num per SKU. Yeah. Now how do we get whatever you started with here? So this. Oops. So expected num salvage packs. No, it's not really that. It's like num salvage packs granted. Total num salvage packs granted. Hey Johnny. Yeah. You know, you can up your game by just using a single pointer finger so that every single key that you hit, you're still typing like a moron. Sorry. You can up it even further than that by typing with a piano. So total num salvage packs granted. And you're gonna have this be true, hopefully. Okay, let's try this out. Does it work? No, it doesn't. Underscore is not defined. Really? I didn't use Lodash for anything. Type on a piano like a 5-year-old getting their first lesson. Hey, what happened? Duplicate entry 5. 5, what? Because of purchase ID? Is that unique? I don't actually know what purchase ID is. It would probably help to know that. What's it called? Itch purchases? This one? Purchase ID, primary key. Oh yeah, it's unique. Okay, good. Then whatever. I'll just change it. So purchase ID. And it's supposed to be a string. So let's do that. I never use a subproduct ID. We can just put it like that. Okay, that should hopefully work. Let's go try it. Uh-oh. What happened here? It's off by a large amount. Number of salvage packs in SKU is 3. And we make 50 purchases. So we should have the expected numbers wrong. What? Total number granted is number purchases to make times number in SKU. Number in SKU should be 3, right? Yeah. Why is this double what it should be? Oh, whoops, because this is not happening before. Okay, never mind. There. That'll fix it. Hey Ted, why did you use promise.all? It was only one promise. Not sure if you wanted this type of chat. Oh, that type of chat is fine, but this is actually 50 promises. You can see I'm doing times num purchases to make. So the way that times works is it's going to invoke this n times, returning an array of all the results. So that's going to be n promises. Yeah. Not clearing your tables. No, it was that I was fetching the number of unopened salvage twice in a row. What it was supposed to do is fetch that number, grant more, fetch that number. This is what I wanted, and what I had was this. So this is why I was doubling it, because I fetched it and then added to it. But anyway, it works now. Hey Snickering. Hey BTMR. Okay, so this is done. Now this one we can try. All we need to do is make sure that we get the right error message. So as soon as I log in, we should see what this expired. There was a problem redeeming. Oh no, this isn't right. This isn't right at all. Hang on, let me try this again. Although I don't think this is going to be any better this time. Oh, invalid signature. That's not possible. Oh, that is possible. Okay, never mind. I forgot the environment variable. This sucks. Here, this is what I need. So we need to set, what's it called? Itch JWT secret equal to that. And now it'll verify. Okay, that was good. This is good stuff here. It's working how I expect. I just forgot what to expect. So now we'll paste this in. And now it should tell me that it expired. Perfect. Redemption link you use has expired, so you'll need to get a new one from Itch. You should be able to find this in your email. Yeah. So now we have one more thing left to test there. Hey RevRox. Steam ID got rounded because it was an int. Yeah, that was a wild ride. And hey Macy. So now we need to claim this for real. So to claim it, we need to refresh this page so we get a new link, then copy that and paste it here. There. Now with this new link, everything is going to work correctly. Let's make sure that it works. Not that we really need to do this, but we'll do select unopened salvage. So we have 66 salvage packs. We're going to claim this. There, you redeemed your purchase of 1 salvage pack. So now we should have 67. That's actually a bug. We will write that down. Right after claiming your salvage packs, we should set the total number in Redux correctly so that you don't see the old number. It's correct in the database. This is going to say 67. And if I click this, it'll open it and then say 66 still. Yeah. So I know what this bug is. It's going to be easy to fix, but that was actually not what I meant to test. The other thing that I want to test is make sure that we can redeem Itch and Steam salvage packs with auto login enabled. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But now I want to try double claiming this. And we need to make sure that we get a message saying that you've already claimed this. So let's see. That purchase was already claimed. if you believe this to be an error. Yeah, so all this is working great. I like that. This is done. Yeah. Hey, Ocelot. So this was the planned monetization model from the very beginning, and the loot boxes are just cosmetic. I didn't want the game to be pay to win, and I didn't want you to have to spend money to even play the game. I don't know how many people would buy cosmetic items in a game like Botland, but yeah, that's all they contain. So you can go make whatever bot you get out of this if you want. And that's it. Okay, so make sure that we can redeem these with auto login enabled. All right, so to do this, we need to go buy another pack. Buy. Just spend a cool $1,600. Let me do this off screen. Be funny if this was never actually a sandbox. It turns out I'm just spending $2,000 every time I want to test something. Okay, hang on, it's verifying. And there it goes. This year has flown by. Thank you, Shane. Thank you for the resub. It seems like just yesterday that it was 11 months. Cosmetics are useful. Yeah, I think they're good. You'll get them through the normal game though too. But I guess once there are like several hundred of them, maybe they'll matter. I don't know. But yeah, Shane, thanks for the 1 year. Okay, so what I wanted to do here is go enable auto login and make sure that this will work. So we're gonna hit stay logged in, sign in, and we should have 65 salvage packs, although that number is gonna be incremented only in the database. And then we're going to click this link. Unfortunately, we can't just click it because it's the wrong URL. But there. So now we paste this in and it should just immediately work. Good, 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 good. You just redeemed your purchase of 1 salvage pack, thanks. So this says 65. I think if you go back to this page, it'll update. No. Well, whatever, it's updated in the database, that's all that matters. Do all the skins have an equal drop chance? Yeah, right now they do, but in the future they might not. And if they don't have an equal drop chance, I think I need to say on iOS at the very least what the percent chances are. I think that's now required. So it might be easier just to say, yeah, they all have the same chance. But it might be harder from a balance perspective, a monetary balance perspective to do that. Why don't you update the BL return URL on the staging server? It's staging, so who cares? That's a good point. That's a very good point. Good idea. How do I do this? Look at my crazy amount of revenue here. In fake dollars. I actually don't know where to find this. Oh, here it is. Edit. Did I click that? Okay, subproducts. URL. There. Hey, TB. Okay, there. So now when I make a purchase, I guess I can just do this much easier. We click buy, we open the URL, I take this off screen, I type in a fake credit card number. I'm getting pretty good at this. Pretty good at fraudulent purchases. And so now I should be able to just click this link and it'll automatically redeem it for me. Drat. I think it deleted the port number. Yeah, it didn't like that. I wonder if I should tell Leaf about that. Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, I should. Okay. Tell Leaf about port number getting stripped from the staging server return URL. Actually, let me just get a picture of this page. Gotta set up those fake host names. Yeah, I could do that. I'm not too concerned for right now. I'll just tell Leaf about this later. Let me copy the path to this image though, file path there. Okay. All right, so make sure that you can redeem with auto login. Make sure that you can't claim the same product twice. This is perhaps one of the most important tests that I could ever write, which is don't allow people to infinitely claim the same purchase. So how do we do this? Well, every platform is technically different, but also there was some code in one of the platforms somewhere. Where was this? Some like DB this ensure purchase was not already claimed. So we should technically test all of these routes. Fine. Hey, Shelp. Could use ngrok to proxy your local server to an online one. I want to do it. Well, not even that. I could do that, but what I wanted to have was just localhost 3000 would be referred to by localhost at that point. So what I could do is I could set up some like, fake localhost, and then in my host file, just set up a reference to this to be like 127.0.0.1.3000. I don't even think it's worth doing that though. But yeah, there are a lot of ways around this. So we want to test this function for all the different platforms. So iOS, Android, Steam, and itch. And how do we do this? DB, where's the test code? Here. So we return this. I feel like I should do this differently. Let me think about this. So I already had a bug in this code. If I can find the code. I copied the one for iOS and I did not include this set of characters right here. So what happens is we say that we have no response from the database. Then we try setting it to that purchase if it existed. And at the bottom of this, we try to make sure that we didn't set it to anything. Because if we did, then that means you've already claimed this before. So when I left off the dbrest part, that means that this could only ever have been the null value that it was originally. So what I'm wondering is, should I just change these functions to error in the case that you've already claimed it? And then the issue with that is that then each one of these functions would need their own code when I could have a common part here. So I think we'll just test this function. I think this is fine. This is what automated tests are for. And we just need to figure out how we test it. Hey, Martini. Welcome to the stream. So, yeah, let's call in this function. This comes from where? Monetization here. So creates queue should be in the same file, right? No, what is this? Database APIs? I can't even read this. No, this is wrong. Okay, now I should just say it's not being used. Yeah, good. Okay. So we're going to do this for each platform. Ensure double, or should not allow double purchasing or double claiming on itch. Let's start with that one. And we want to call this function eventually. So what does this function do? We check just based on purchase ID. That's it. That's literally it. But we can't make a row in this table unless we have a common data item. Is there a fast way to do this? Claim itch purchase. I guess we could just call this once. Yeah, we can just call it. Okay, let's try this out then. All right. So let's delete that. And after this, let's set this to 1. Purchase ID. Purchase ID actually does matter. Purchase ID equals 5. It's got to be a string, I think. What is this? Purchase ID is a string, yes. Okay, yeah. So we'll keep it as a string. And subproduct ID literally doesn't matter. All right, so we claim it once. This should work. So we go from 0 purchases to 1. That's fine. Then we want to call into this. What is this taken? Yeah, hey Shanky. This is a pretty loud keyboard. I wonder if I could move it like very far away. This is not nearly far enough. Yeah. You like it? Okay. Most people who say that come in here, say it's loud, and then never come back. Hey again, Cholito. Yeah, I have mechanical keyboards. I just don't use them. I'm going to be playing World of Warcraft Classic, and I'm going to use this when I play that, which means I'm actually going to use both sides, I guess. But I'm mostly using this for hotkeys and stuff. I wanted to see if it'd be any better. I actually don't know if it will be, but we'll find out. Helps other people see him coming. Yeah, that's an Ergodox. I don't have a Kinesis. I have like a regular mechanical keyboard too, just a straight up like rectangular board. Oh yeah, what does this take in? This takes in TRX platform type and platform specific data. Okay, so TRX platform type, and platform specific data, which in this case is going to be purchase ID. We need to make sure this even worked. So we should have 2 tests, I think. Should probably test first without the purchase being claimed, then test again after it's been claimed, and make sure we get the right error message. I should move the mic instead of the keyboard. I don't think I'm actually gonna do either one. I've been streaming for probably 4 years with this setup pretty much, and I've had people come in throughout that whole 4 years saying like the keyboard's too loud and then just leaving. I think this is one of the things that'll just stay the way it is. And yeah, I know I'm gonna bleed some viewers because of that. Hey Extron, hey Manta. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Yeah, for anyone who's new here and is like, what in the world is this guy doing? I have a new command that you guys might have seen in chat already. If you go to bot.land, so this is the game I've been working on for pretty much the entirety of this stream, and we are getting closer to launching it. So now we actually have apps. It's coming soon on Steam. You can play it right now in the browser for free. And the game itself, normally I just let people watch the video, but I will actually show you guys. So the game itself, you make bots. So I'll put something like missiles and shield on my bot. And then what you can do is you can customize exactly what your bots will do. So I can tell them, I want you to fire missiles, and then I want you to shield yourself, and then I want you to just move forward, let's say. So I can make a really quick script like that, and they'll do exactly what I told them to do. So I'll put a bunch of these bots down, and they're going to shield themselves, they're going to move forward, and they're going to fire missiles just like I told them to do. So it's online right now. It's mostly a PvP game, so you can play against other real players. And what we're working on today is finalizing some of the monetization code. So that's what we're writing tests for. Yeah, some people do enjoy the clicks. Hey, Justin, Perpetual Fest, and Kilo. Feel more productive when I use my mechanical keyboard because it's louder. Yeah, tactics, I think that works as long as you're not in an office setting or you're not on Skype with somebody. Skype, what am I? 70 years old? I mean Discord. Okay, so I left off with this. I don't actually have a transaction, and I technically don't need a transaction here. Yeah. I could just say dbframework.connect. Is it based on Scratch? In a very indirect way, kind of. It's based on Blockly, and Blockly was inspired by Scratch. Yeah, back when I was on Skype, back 60 years ago, I was bothering my friend all the time because I had a blue switch keyboard, and It's probably just super annoying. Now, actually, he's getting me back because now that we're on Discord, I'm like, dude, your keyboard is super loud. So we got to find some way around that. Okay, now when this fails, it should just throw an error for me. So in this particular case, I guess what we could say is expect, there's a way to do this, rejects.toThrow dot reject to throw. Now we await this, right? Yeah. Hey, official. Never really figured out that Discord exists. Yeah, that's probably for the better. Actually, I don't really care too much, but I do think that that happened with Facebook. Facebook was originally probably largely in the like 18 to 22 demographic, because I'm pretty sure you needed a .edu email address back then, and that means you're largely going to be in this demographic, right? And then it started expanding, and then it started shifting. Hey again, Crescentine. I'm pronouncing your name differently today from how I did the last time. Okay, yeah, so now we can get rid of the rest of this. And let's see if this works. So, should just automatically run. Cannot read property edge of undefined. Yep, I forgot to include constants. Oh no, I did. Oh, is it not called platform type? Knowing me, I probably called it platform types. Did I? I didn't even call it that. Where is this? Purchase platform. Oh, I was way off. Wait a second, does that mean that this is wrong then? Oh no, it's not wrong. I just called it platform type. Oh well, whatever. Okay, does that work? Because even if it works, this is not a great test yet. I need to do something else, and it didn't work. It says ensure was not already claimed is not a function. Did I not export this? Nope, I didn't. Export async function. That should work. Heard it 80 different ways. Doesn't even deter me anymore. Yeah, but still, it's nice when people get it right, which I should probably ask you what is the right way. Hopefully I didn't already write this down, or else I'm... Let's take a look at the list. Name pronunciation list. Crass. No, I don't have it here. But I have everybody else's who's told me over the years. Okay, yeah. Like I said, this test it might pass, and it did pass, but I don't think it's a good test yet. So what we gotta do is this one should not throw it first. So how do we make sure that this succeeds? I guess we just run it. And I don't even think it'll return anything. Right? This should be enough. What does this return? Nothing. Yeah. Hey, Dakra. Like Frankenstein. Got it. So it's pronounced Frankenstein. Let's copy paste this in. Oops. What is that? Krassenstein. I don't know. Okay, there. We'll paste it in, and we'll never forget. Hey, Zerker. There. Okay, did this pass? This is the correct way to run this test. So here's what we were doing before. We did not have this code here, so we would claim the purchase and then call ensure it was already claimed, and this would fail. That's good, but it's not the best, because what happens if this just always fails? So by calling it once first, we're making sure that it can succeed when it should succeed, and then it should fail when it will fail. Or use .not. You mean, but wait, if this threw, it would cause a problem, right? Throw new error or use .not. There. I think this should cause the test to fail. And if it does, then we're in good shape. Yeah. Okay. Wait, I only really cared about the first one. Yeah, good. Hey, yo. Okie dokes. Let's move on to the next platform. So we got itch done. Now let's go work on whatever's next. Is this as simple as the code can be? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, let's work on iOS. So how do we do this? We need to go figure out what makes iOS purchases unique. Let's go to monetization iOS, and it is transaction ID. So it's pretty much the same thing as this. And we just change this to iOS, and this to iOS, and this and this. No, that won't work because we're still calling claim itch purchase. Where's that come from? Here it is. Claim iOS purchase. Johnny, if you want me to explain anything, I don't mind. What I'm doing though is just writing tests for my specific code base. Oh, whoops, this is also wrong, isn't it? Claim iOS purchase doesn't take this in. What does this look like? User ID, transaction, receipt data. So this is receipt data. Okay, that might work. Now there's a lot of copy pasted code there, so we can probably refactor that. I'll probably do that. That did not work. TRX is not a function. TRX is not a function. What? Claim iOS purchase takes in connects, user ID, transaction ID. Yeah, receipt data and SKU. What did I mess up? Huh. I don't know. I don't see it. Okay, well, let's cut out all of this. This should definitely succeed now, because it's not doing anything. And I'll just put in code until it fails, and then we'll find out why. I do this because I don't know if I have a quick way of debugging the test. Do I? I do. Okay, then let's just do it that way. Fine, we'll debug this. That's the right way of doing things. Just didn't know it would take me a while. It's bugging me. So we want this one. Test. Debug win. And then we need to open up. We should probably have, oh, it has inspect break. Okay, yeah, we'll open up the debugger over here, close out of this stuff. No, it went away. That was Chrome's fault, not my fault. I'm an expert computer user, so whenever anything goes wrong, it's not me. Okay, there. So now this should break in, good. And we want a debugger right here. I don't think this is gonna work the way I want it to. In fact, let's see if this succeeds or fails. Yeah, it says TRX not a function. Okay, so we'll put a breakpoint here. But like I said, I don't have a lot of faith in this. Then we'll wait for it to break in. Cool. It's gonna break in again. I'm just waiting for that to happen. Right. Okay, there it goes. It just took a long time. No. Alright, yeah, this is what I was worried about. Why does it 0 for this? Connects. Yeah, that's right. Am I missing an argument there? No. Oh my god. Oh, this is just the wrong code. Oh, thank goodness I'm testing this. Oh boy. That's a real bug. I never had TRX typed here. Wow. You know, I think I know what happened. I think when I was writing the stubs for these functions, I copy pasted a bunch of stuff, but I didn't have iOS working at all, so I had it commented out. And then I updated the other ones to add in, you know, some other argument, right? And then when I finally got back to iOS, I just uncommented it, and I never remembered to do something like this over there. I think that's what happened. But we found a real bug here. That is the exact reason we test this stuff. Now, granted, we would have manually tested this, but we don't have the iOS code for this yet. Hey, Chris. Client wanted new images on his website, mailed us physical pictures he had printed at Walgreens. Anyone who doesn't know what this joke is gonna be like, why does this guy not know how many periods are in an ellipsis? I should probably stop doing that. Yeah, I'm sorry, ellipsis. At this point, I probably just seem like a jerk. Especially because it's a contentious topic. So, apologies. Okay, good. This works. Oh, it's hilarious? Okay, then let me continue. Nothing better than repeating a joke over and over. Yeah, so I really had messed this up. And now we got this working. And now we have to figure out whether it's worth refactoring this. I'm guessing all of this is still going to work when I put this in. Wait, did Ellipsis CEO actually listen to you guys? I thought he was very... What's the word? Is it obstinate? Or obdurate? Obstinate, yes. That is correct. The other one means stupid, right? No, wait, what? Are they synonyms? Wow, I did not know that. I thought one of them meant stupid. Well, I guess that makes me stupid. Okay, so you have an error with receipt data because of what exactly? Oh, because that's platform specific data. Aha. I think that'll work. Okay, fine, I'll read my own code. Yeah, fine. So ensure purchase is not already claimed goes into here, which goes into here, which takes in just a transaction ID. And how does it get that information? I probably messed up this code too, didn't I? I did, oh my god. I messed up every single part of this that I could have messed up. So, doesn't this mean that I screwed up another part of this? Why did I make this lowercase? Yeah, there. Get rid of this. I think that should work. Hey, Fusion. Says now ... Hey, we did it. Okay, so is it worth consolidating this code? Let's paste it like so. So put this here. This is what, iOS? Yeah, this is iOS. And then this is itch. And we'll use the old Alt-Shift-2 and put this over here. And then mess up, get annoyed, and do it the right way. There. So a lot of similar code here, creating this. Then we have platform-specific data here, but then the table name. You know what? I'm gonna just try this out. Global Hero, welcome back. Thank you for the resub. I don't think I ever gave you your points from your old name. Did I? I guess we can just find out. Top 10. Let me see. No, I did not. Yeah. I don't know when you change your name, but I shall fix this for you. There you go. Yeah, thanks for resubbing. Hey, Knowledge. They had been taken on a digital camera. It's crazy that I remembered. I did not remember your name, so I thought this person must have changed their name. I didn't remember your new name, I mean. River Futuro. Okay, let's consolidate this. I'm gonna write a function ensure no double claim. It's gonna take it like a million parameters. How are we gonna do this? I guess I could make another one of these and open up a new thing here. So we just copy paste either of these over to here. And now we want platform specific data. And then how do we know what to send in this function? I guess it's just always going to take another string. We can't count on that, can we? I guess I'd have to look at all the other database monetization theme. What does this do? No, they all work that way. No, this is for claim. But Steam doesn't work that way, right? No, it doesn't. Maybe I should just write a bunch of different functions. Yeah, let's just do it that way. Okay, initial. Yeah, I think that's a nice thing about setting these prices so high, is that if you gave a $7 or $10 or $10,000 discount, people will be happy about that, right? Here, I think this price can be raised. I think we'll have to tweak the numbers a bit, see who's purchasing it. But yeah, gotta keep them high. Okay, we're gonna just write the other ones here. Yeah, 99% off at $20. I'd love to just avoid that and just have prices be exactly what they say they are. So $10, $20, $30, whatever they are, and not necessarily say like, yeah, 50% off now $10 and 75% off now $20. It's like they're the same prices. Hey, boss. Yeah, the Walmart prices have something encoded in the last digit though, right? I thought that's how that worked. Like, I didn't think that was purely a psychological trick. I thought there was some other reason. But I don't know. I'm the guy who thought obstinate and obdurate meant two different things. But they're just flammable and inflammable. So we got done with itch, iOS. Next up is Android. Android. And what's the platform specific data for this one? It is order ID. Okay, so order ID. Oh, that and the tax. Yeah, left just, but you'll need to put in a quarter every time you want to play. You have a different monetization model over there. We don't have any Android stuff here, do we? No, we don't. So claim Android purchase. I wonder, I think this is more subconscious than conscious. Although it would be very funny to hear someone say that they could save 6 cents. I don't know if people would actually say that, but I think they would think that it's cheaper. It's exactly why companies do something like $4.99, because you look at the first number and you're like, yeah, it was $4. It's like, no, it's a whole 25% more expensive than that. So order ID, is that a string? I don't know. Purchases Android. Yep, it is. This changes to this. This is not receipt data. What is this? Purchase token. Michael's pricing model always had to use that 40% off coupon. Yeah, man, I don't like that, because that means that there are people out there who don't know that you could get something cheaper. It's like, let me just self-promote here. It's like this very attractive t-shirt model. My goodness, so attractive. But yeah, here. So for US purchases, you can buy them on Amazon. For non-US purchases, you buy them on Redbubble, except for Redbubble is one of those sites where it's like, you should always use a coupon code. Otherwise, you're just overspending. Hey, EJ. Yeah, wow, only $999. Okay, did this work? Yep. And now we have one more platform, and that is Steam, and Steam works a little bit differently. And I don't know how it's going to be different. So let's take a look. So let's just type Steam a bunch of times there. And now what do they have instead of order ID? They call it order ID. Okay. Is that a number? Is it a string? It is a string. And it's not called claim, it's called mark that purchase was claimed. No, there's some other weird thing here, right? Oh, there's just claim here. What? I apparently never did this. Maybe this is a bug. How do you purchase something? Monetization, DB, Steam. It's not this API, it's somewhere else. It's in finalize somewhere, but how? Claim, purchase. Oh, that's... Okay. I don't know if I like this. I know what happened here. I had a proxy function for almost all of these other ones, except for not this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Hey, Nui. Actually, it kind of matters. I want consistency. We're going to get consistency, even if it kills us. Okay. Okay, I have to be very careful with what I'm about to do. So I need order ID. Do I need anything else? What do all these other functions use? Purchase ID, subproduct. Yeah, I don't think we need anything else. So no purchase token. This turns into Steam. This goes away completely. And it looks like this. This should say Steam. This should be TRX. This has to be a transaction due to how Steam purchase finalization works. Then we need this function, and we need constants, and we get rid of that. So this comes from here. Constants comes from here. Does it work? Did I do it? Let me change this function too. Next to order ID. This doesn't look right. No, there we go. All right, now what? TRX user ID, order ID, SKU. TRX user ID, order ID, SKU. Like so. Okay. That should maybe do something for me. Right? Probably. Okay, so now we should be able to call this function. So there is no purchase token. It's literally just order ID. And all the rest of this is magically going to work? Question mark. Does it? Did work. My goodness. Hey, Nemus. Yeah, this is JavaScript. I will link this and get this out of the way, Nemus. But there we go. Welcome to the stream. So, I think we're done with all these platforms. I should look through this code just to make sure there's nothing funky going on here. So if there were bugs in any part of this, this should now be caught. So let's say I did not have this here. The test should fail. I want to make sure Actually, you know what? I want to test all of these. So this is taking like 10 seconds. So I guess it's going to take like the next minute. Good. So that one failed. That was iOS. It makes sense because we're in the iOS section. Same thing. If I do this for Android. Actually, we could just do them all at once. Yeah, so it won't take 40 seconds. There. So now all of the tests should fail for Android, Itch, and Steam. So we should have 3 tests failing. And that'll make sure that I don't ever make this mistake in the future. We have 4 that failed. Oh, because they're, yeah, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Good. Now, what else could I possibly test here? Yeah, what if I didn't pass in, what if I didn't do this correctly? Would this work? So I'm gonna hit save. And I expect some number, at least 4 tests to fail. Yeah, 8 failed. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident then that this is going to be a solid foundation to test on. So test a valid receipt, but for a completely different app. This is an exploit vector that I talked about on Discord. So the way that iOS purchases work is actually kind of interesting. So you get, where's the API? Let me see if I can show you guys this. I have so many notes on payment stuff. Here it is. Okay, now how do you validate a, here it is, verify receipt. So somewhere here they've got documentation on how to validate receipts. Yeah, so here's how a purchase works on iOS. You take your phone, you pick what you want to buy on Botland, eventually you get to paying with Apple, however that works. You guys have probably seen it before, and you eventually spend money. What Apple's gonna do is they're gonna send you back receipt data. Receipt data is pretty much opaque. So what it looks like is probably gonna be something like this, where it is not something you can make any sense of. And what you do is you pass it from your server to Apple to get all of the unencoded data out of it. So you will get a receipt instead of receipt data. And in here, you will be able to tell what you purchased. And this has some other structure to it. Anyway, great, right? So this is a receipt, and as far as a developer concerns, whatever, it's something. Receipts are from a certain app, right? So when you call into this API, you will get back what app it is for in bundle ID. And what you have to do as a developer is check to see, like, assert that bundle ID is actually equal to Botland for me. Otherwise, this could have been a receipt from a different app. So what I was wondering about is how many apps on the App Store have this check missing? So I could make a test app. I could make a SKU that matches something else, like Fortnite skins or something. And then I could buy something in my test app and get this receipt blob. If they don't check to see if the bundle ID matches their actual app, then this will go through their system and give me whatever item as long as the SKUs match. Now, that's what this was all about. This very long-winded explanation is test a valid receipt, but for a completely different app. I'm not going to do this because my code does have this check here. Where is it? Bundle ID. Yeah, here it is. So I check to see that the bundle ID is what my bundle ID is. So if this fails, then you can't do anything. So I have this check. I'm not gonna do anything extra. But it was just something interesting that I thought of. And then it made me think, well, is this possible on any other platform? So I wrote a bunch of notes on what the other platforms do here too. And with Google, I realized that while it might be possible, it's incredibly far-fetched that anyone actually has a setup that would be vulnerable to this. On Itch, it wouldn't be a problem at all. And on Steam, it's the same thing like Google, where, again, it's very far-fetched that anyone would have this vulnerability. But on Apple, I think probably some apps do have that vulnerability. So who knows? Hey, Ski Dog. So we're gonna just cancel this. I have an assert in my code, and I think it should be fine. Okie dokie. So I think the tests are done. And we did find a couple of bugs from the test. That means that they're bugs that we will not find in production now. No, not this time, Ski Dog. Trying to activate Final Fantasy XIV Trials, one of the worst game install experiences I've had. And even Final Fantasy XI had like some ridiculous installation process. They've apparently streamlined that since then. So I guess I'll check in what I've done so far. And we'll run all of the tests this time. What's going on in this tab? There's nothing showing. Oh, there we go. We got something. All right, let's run them all. And we have one problem here. And that is that constants is not needed. I know why. Yeah, that's fine. You have no key because you're trying to get the demo. How do you end up getting it, Rami? Also, hey, Luculus. This will take like 3 minutes to run, so I'm not going to wait for this. But we will start writing the check-in details. So this should not be checked in, and hopefully this doesn't re-trigger the test. Please don't restart. Okay, good. Yeah, but what I mean is, how do you tell it that you're using the trial? Because you said that whole thing about you need a key, but you don't have a key. Man. I realized, everybody, that I have a 9-day timer for Thai food. That if 9 days pass and I have not eaten Thai food, that I all of a sudden want Thai food. Did I tell you guys about the reason why Thai restaurants are so common in Seattle? I think I did. But there are something like 10 times more, or no, not 10 times more. There are like 1,200 Thai immigrants in Seattle, and there are 120 restaurants, which is a crazy ratio. It's apparently because the Thai government was giving really good loans to people to go start restaurants in other countries. And they called it gastro diplomacy. And I think it is a great idea, and I am all for this kind of propaganda. Okay, this is good. Nice little refactoring here. Also, did these pass? They're not all done yet. This, I guess we'll write a comment just for types. This is a Boolean and it returns a string. Oh, darn it, that kicked off the test again. Drat. Botland food stands. Yeah. Good old Microsoft interview questions. How many Thai restaurants in Seattle? I'd be like 1,211. I don't care about your estimation process. I know the answer. Actually, that would be really tough to estimate because, or well, sorry, that was the number of immigrants, not the number of restaurants. That'd be really tough to estimate though, given that it's anomalous. So I think most of the time you think, okay, well, how many people like Thai food? How many people live in the city? How many Thai restaurants have I seen? That sort of thing. But it's like, if you did that with any other demographic of immigrant here, you'd be way off. Way off. I want to figure out how many Indian restaurants there are in Seattle. Okay, this stuff is fine. This is good. Yep. Have you tried Yelp? The thing is, you have to be listed on Yelp, right? I don't know how you'd get the actual number of restaurants of anything in a city. But yeah, Yelp would probably be a good start. Suit and tie, that's pretty good. Hey Goon, guess it's 27. Did you look it up on Yelp? And hey Stuff Death. Appreciate your neat part in your FAQ of giving notes. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Alright, this is good. We reordered this stuff. Oh, cool, Rami. So yeah, you just had to restart it like 10 times. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, man, I added a lot of test code for this stuff. I'm not going to look through it all. And then some of this got a little bit simpler, but do I have this code in here anywhere still? Yeah, I do. We should probably look through that another time. Where did my... refactor test to use the new create SKU function. What library do I use for the test? I use Jest and Hasty Detect. Okay, all the tests are passing. That's good. This refactoring I want to do before I check in, but I want to look through the rest of the code before I get to that point. Yeah, so this is pretty much just add tests for things. This shouldn't be checked in. But you know what? I'm going to just revert this file before I forget. And then what's this? This is dev code changing. I don't want to change dev code in this stuff. I guess we'll just check this in on its own. Say something like show generic error on, or show error dialog on generic itch redemption errors. So previously, if you had something like a malformed JWT, the shrug error would show on the client, so the user wouldn't know what to do to fix it. Yeah. Okay, that is its own self-contained change. There is at least one other change that I have here, which is some of this stuff. No, not that. Not that. This one. This was a tremendous bug. So I'm gonna say fix crucial Apple purchase bug. So I think that purchasing just wouldn't work at all. But let's just look at the diff. I didn't have a transaction. Yeah, purchasing wouldn't work at all. So I shouldn't say I think. Purchasing wouldn't actually work at all because I wasn't passing the correct arguments. I found this due to automated tests that I have yet to check in. Okay. Need voice to text transcription. I think someday that will be very common, that people will probably type out code maybe, but then anything like strings or some computer manipulation like moving windows or something will be voice activated. How do you deploy updates to the servers? A lot of this stuff happens through continuous integration and continuous deployment. Do I have a CD command? No, I don't. So in general, I'll tell you the very high level of how this works. So I push to GitHub. I'll just make this plain text. Yeah, so I push to GitHub. Circle CI notices a change. I trigger certain workflows in Circle CI to deploy. It starts a container on AWS somewhere and does a bunch of build and deploy steps. And then AWS in my own account will run the botland infrastructure. So that's how this all works. This is very high level, right? Yeah. All right, what was I gonna do? Refactor this thing. Yeah. So no more create SKU. I want to fix that. Okay, because probably most of the time this is going to matter, but I do have to apply a little bit of thought to this. Let's copy this over here. Oh, I do not like this. I gotta figure out what extension is doing that. That every time I hit Control N and it has whatever the buffer's contents were, which by the way almost caused me to leak a bunch of Hideo's personal information because there was a Steam problem. Okay, actually I'm gonna start complaining about this now. So Steam has they have something called Steamworks, which developers need to use to upload builds, and they have some like manage users section. And in there you can click add user, and then they ask for their Steam name, their real name, their email, and then like additional notes. Now, what would you expect when you see something like this for Steam name? you'd probably expect that as you start typing like Adam13, it might auto-complete with like, oh, Adam135331, right? It might show you, hey, here's what this person's avatar is. It does none of that. So I typed in Hideo, and it gave some random person in Brazil access to botland, I guess. So that was super frustrating. I didn't even know I could see who this corresponded to. You have to then later click their entry and then find a link that says open their Steam profile. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was wrong. Let me try Hideo with 1-0. And then it turned out to be someone in a different part of the world. And then I realized that Hideo's Steam name is not Hideo. and then corrected that. But yeah, Brazilian Hideo had access to whatever I gave him. I don't even know what it was. He wanted it too. Yeah, so that was really frustrating. Anyway, I had Hideo's personal details in one of my buffers here because I was copying all the information to keep trying different account names. Okay, so anyway, create test SKU. What can we do for this? I guess we're never really testing create SKU, right? And is this taking any arguments? No. And then what do we need from this? SKU name, valid SKU name. SKU name, valid SKU name. So there's that. We put this down here. We don't need purchase ID or product ID. Nice. Okay. Hey, Granley. Yeah, now you know the real Hideo lives in Brazil. Whichever one we've been talking to in chat this whole time has been imposter Hideo. And you don't think it's an extension Hideo? Yeah. I'll have to look. But it's a really annoying behavior, especially how frequently I use new buffers. Okay, but this should have been create test SKU. And we want to have just those tests run. So what is this? DV monetization. Okay. And I'm going to fix all of these. What am I doing? This can't be right. This should just be deleted. Nice. Code got a little bit cleaner, but hopefully the test still passed. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter if it's cleaner. Good. Looking good, looking good. Alright, we got SKU name here, num salvage packs and SKU, yeah, all this stuff. SKU name, num salvage packs and SKU. Delete all of this. And delete these. This is not Java, no. Flash, this is, oh, thank you, Skidog. So Skidog and Yo, for the future, I don't know if you guys care or not, but I tend to, when someone new just asks what language is this, I tend to link the new command because it kind of mentions everything. Like the what language are you coding in thing being here. I know it doesn't actually answer that question, but it does link to it. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Flash. Okay, so now these get deleted. This gets deleted. And we delete like 5 lines from the test. Not too bad. Except that they turn out to be needed down here. So I guess we can't delete those. Purchase ID equals purchase ID and sub product ID. And then delete the strings that I made here. Now this I didn't want to actually change. So what did this used to be? They were just 5 and 7. There, that's good. Yeah, it's the one dark theme. And what's the editor? That's Visual Studio Code. There you go. What am I eating tonight? I don't actually know, Kleska. Okay, so this one's done. We can't have any more of these, right? Yeah, there's just one more left to do. Yeah, there are commands for everything. There's also a lot of these things answered in the FAQ. I've been streaming pretty much the same thing for like 4 years. So new people who come to the stream have asked me the same thing for 4 years. So SKU name we need here, and anything else? No, I don't think so. And this isn't even needed. Nice. Thanks, SciMaster. Okay, cool. It's all working. So we can go check this in. This is done. I'll put this here. I'll lint it one more time. Add automated tests for purchasing. This actually helped find a couple of bugs. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know, the rest of this is just confidence for the future. Hey, Artie. And I'm happy that I added these now. There was a thread on Ask Reddit yesterday that was something like, former lazy people of Reddit, how are you no longer lazy? And I think it's always good to read through those because there can be some tips there that you might not be aware of. One of them was something that I have heard before, which is if there's a task that takes you less than 2 or 5 minutes or whatever you set that threshold at, to just do it immediately. This is not one of those tasks. This is a task that clearly took us 2 hours. And yet it's better to do this now than save it for when there's a catastrophe later. Yeah, good. We got rid of some of the code here. So in the end, how many lines did we end up adding? Yeah, we pretty much doubled the size of the file, almost exactly. Oh, wow. They're important. Okay, that's good. Where can you learn best practices on coding? I think you learn it from a variety of resources, including to just do some code yourself and see where you run into problems. But there are going to be books that you find. There are going to be other people who can help teach you that. Going to be just people you can watch online, code, and see what they do. The last one doesn't work well, too. Hey, Dark Tower. 2-min rule is from GTD. What is that? Getting things done. Yeah, and I think it's good advice. It at least forms good habits, usually. Okay, so what do we have here? Manifested a made-up itch JWT secret since the staging server is online. I never actually figured out where this comes from. So there's a secret here, but this isn't per product, right? It's per app. How many products do I have? 1, 2, yeah. And there's just one. Okay, good. I think this is correct. So we'll write this in here somewhere. JWT secret, at least so the secret is for your account, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's fine. Update, I think it's either for the game or for the account, but it's definitely not per product. Yeah. I like OneNote a lot. I don't actually think I have heard of getting things done, but if I have, I've never seen it abbreviated as GTD. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, I think we got all this. I don't think this is correct though, right? No, this is. Yeah. So at some point I'm going to need a real secret, and I don't have a real secret right now. I hard-coded a made-up thing on localhost, which, by the way, I shouldn't even have this, right? I should just make this whatever that value is. DT something something. Where is it? Here it is. DB. This. So I'm gonna write, this is the staging server's JWT secret. If this leaks, well, it doesn't matter if this leaks. Yeah. I.e. not really a secret. Yeah. I have no secrets. Can I pronounce my age? No. But there are still secrets. All right. Yeah. So at some point in the future, when this is in production, I'll still need to do this. So remaining monetization tasks. Once itch has payments in production, I need to manifest the right JWT secret in CircleCI. I specified a value that is just like clearly made up because this isn't live yet. Oh yeah, and then once it's done, deploy new account servers so that they get the new environment variable. Yeah. How did I learn to type so fast? It's just the simple matter of this picture. I love that picture. YLave made that picture and then disappeared forever. Set staging itch JWT secret. This is because I kept messing up and forgetting to do so. Then the error message that I got back was cryptic. Did you miss something interesting? I don't think so, Riethal. Need docs or readme on how you do documentation template style? The to-do is just what Skidog linked in. I don't think I have documentation on that, but I do have one on my notes. Yeah, this. You might find this interesting. It talks about how I use OneNote, and that's about it. Yeah, I don't think it talks about anything else. I also have not updated this, so it's using the 2013 version. I should probably write something in there about that. Okay. All right, so we have one more bug to fix here. Right after claiming your salvage packs, you should set the total number in Redux correctly. I think this is incredibly simple to do. I just need to figure out where it happens. I think it's in here. There's a place where we set this thing to null. Here it is. Yeah, so value. There's something else that we get back. It's like num salvage packs or something. I gotta go find out what. Where would I find this? Server, claim itch, purchase monetization itch. No, external monetization. Aha, total num salvage. That one. Cool. And now there's a way to set how many packs you have. I can only imagine it's in this file somewhere. Fetch number, set number of packs. There it is. So we just do this. All right, now let's test the purchase flow and make sure that this works. So previously there was an error where you would buy something and you wouldn't actually see after redeeming it that your number of packs went up. Now we shouldn't have that problem. So right now I have 66 packs. We're gonna buy one and we should see that we have 67. So I'm gonna click buy, gonna take this off screen, gonna make the purchase. So I have to type in a credit card number. Done. All right, now we wait for it to come back. Good. So now we copy the redeem link and we just make sure to put a port in there. There. So we had 66. We should see that it's 67. Good. Great, 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 great. Do all platform calls return this? I assume yes, right? Yeah, all of them return this. Let me think about this. Because the claiming flow is different for different platforms. What happens on Android? On Android, I guess the app will tell the server to redeem it. And then we'll already be in the UI, yeah. Oh, cool, Riethal. Did you get one of those pieces of hardware that measures brainwaves or something? Okay, so I only have redemption working on itch right now. So I added this code to actions, my player, there. Okay. So fix bug around number of owned unopened salvage packs. But when you would claim an itch purchase, it would show the salvage pack UI without showing your up-to-date number of unopened packs. Yeah. Trying to write some software for one of the simplest ones. Are they at all good? I saw something back in like 2014. A guy had brought one of these things into work. These pictures are ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, someone brought one of these things into work, and everyone was like, ooh, what is this? And I don't think it did anything interesting. It was just like, wow, cool. This is proof that in the future we'll probably get this to work. But do they do anything now? Hey, Namola. Couldn't find any FAQ of what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is working on a game called Botland. I hope this is in the FAQ. I thought it was like the first question. But yeah. What is Botland all about on the stream? What are you doing on stream? Yeah. Yeah, but if you want to find out more really quickly, you just go to bot.land. You should be able to find it there. Welcome to Molo. You can make a ball float around that track. Huh. Okay. Oh, the FAQ under the stream, though, should link to all of the GitHub questions, right? Maybe it was muted. Let me take a look. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. That's going crazy there. Alright, no linting issues here. We're going to check this in. So, production version of the Steam app on Windows won't run by double-clicking it. Launch it the way that Steam will. I wonder how we figure that out. How does Steam launch games? It's probably not going to be that helpful. Setting Steam launch options. How do they do it, though? I know how you can... What's this? Hey, Vexus, and hey, Roots. Trying to buy Botland for the mobile market. Can't confirm. And hey, Cosmo Quest, thanks for the raid. Hey, Hanny. I'm probably gonna see the usual crew in here, so I don't think you guys need to hear my very extensive new viewer spiel. But if you are new and you want to get a very brief overview, go to bot.land. Hope everything's going well for you guys. We just finished doing automated tests for all the payment stuff, and now what I wanted to figure out is how do I actually launch the Steam version of the game without having it be in development. So if I do this, yarn run dev, I will get a development version of Botland that runs in its own window as though you'd launch it on Steam. But if I make the production version, there's some special way of launching this, and I don't know how to do that. Cat attack. All right, we'll take care of Cosmo Quest. Good luck calming the cat. And yeah, what's that? That's auto hotkeys, hot strings. Hey, Zombie Slayer. Yeah, you probably don't want to watch more of this on stream then, huh? Although I think the automated tests are done for today. Change the constants index to always be the prod one right now. Okay, let's go take a look at that. Open source constants index. So el prod URL. Then run this again. Wait, why did I do this? Because this worked. The issue that I'm running into is that when I build this, and I launched this version, botland.exe. I know you said double clicking it won't work, but I want to find out how I get this to work. And yeah, I don't know how to do that. Oh wait, this is gonna point at the prod version. Oh wait, oh, so maybe I could just do this then. BL dev URL. Yeah, maybe this is what they were saying. I just ignored what he said. Let me try this. Hey Morpheus. Okay, what do we run? Electron builder -w. Okay, so this might take a little bit of time, but let's see. This was made yesterday. So if this works, then we'll see a new version. I'm gonna get out of that folder so that I can delete it if it needs to. Because I want to see if this is some URL based thing. If Hideo got this working on Mac, then it doesn't mean that it's a Steam thing, right? Yeah, I'm aware of that, Hideo. What I don't like about that is that then it prompts me, and if I want to rerun that command, I can't just press up enter. So if I were to type something like dev right now and then press up, I'd see yarn run. I don't like that because chances are I'm going to rerun whatever command I do there. Or at least that's the habit I've gotten into. So we generated a new one of these. It's in dist. It's here. Yep, this is today's, and this is now pointing at the development version. I imagine it still won't start up. Not be distracted. I've been dealing with time zone conversion issues. Oh, yeah, I think everybody hates time zone. Hey, Mosin. Yeah, making a game called Botland. Yeah, Raimu, but I'll take that every once in a while. Yeah, well, I know Hideo could look into this, but I wanted to figure out how I would look into this. So we have C Steam ID. Where's that? Here. Okay, so Steamworks, Greenworks doesn't init. Let's go take a look at that. Greenworks, Steam, GitHub. Why do you want to run the prod version? I wanted to see if I could upload the production version to Steam and in preparation for our call that we're going to have. I guess I don't need to do that, but I need there to be an executable at least. So whether this is production or not doesn't really matter to me. In fact, is there a way I could cut that out? Excuse me. Dev. I guess there's the difference between Electron and Electron Builder. But one will just run this, the other one will. Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, what's failing here? Is it init? Error while initializing Steamworks. I wouldn't be able to see the log for this though, right? I guess I'll look this up here. We don't have the proper format of archive. That seems a bit insert appropriate expression, I remember. I agree. I always agree that it's appropriate expression. Initialization fails. Let's look for that. Init API returns false. Use that, should pop up a friendly error message. Okay, so if I get a log message, I could probably find out what's going on here. I wonder how we get that log message. I don't know. Oh, you know what we could do? We could just show it in here. So if is dev console.warn, otherwise show error box. So let's just add this to this plus error.message. Maybe this will have some more details and then we can rerun this. And then if this gives me anything helpful, then cool, we can move forward. But if it doesn't give me anything helpful, then I guess I'll have to go searching through. Whoa, what company Hideo? What's the big idea, Hideo? Okay, well, let's write that down. Make sure the company doesn't show as Hideo for the Steam version of the game. Yeah, I use the hack font, Grandly. I think it takes it from the package. It probably does, and I'll have to fix that. So let's take a look. This will fail again, but now it says expected to find it in here. Oh, great. I can't read this. There it is. Expected to find it in Steam app dist WinUnpack Steam app ID. Interesting. Steam app ID.txt. You know the error for that? Yeah, I'm guessing it's just that this is 480 in here. Yeah. So this probably could exist. Like if I were to put this into here, WinUnpacked, and then just copy paste that, this will probably work now. Yeah, it worked. So 480 refers to, I'm saying this for everybody else, Hideo knows this. 480 refers to some like fake game that everyone technically has in their Steam account. So interesting. Okay, so this works now. That's good. This was a problem with Steam app ID.txt missing from alongside the executable. I think it's probably a good idea for us to write this stuff over here. Maybe I make an Electron on Steam section somewhere. I'll just put a troubleshooting section and we'll take care of it this way. Okay, so Steam is running, but Steam... The missing space between these two characters is their problem, right? I don't know, I should put a space. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward. Yeah, you just need Steam app ID.txt to exist alongside the executable. It's a file with a single number in it. So wait a second then, I could have just put in the real number, right? What's the app ID? It's this. So if I do that, then this will work? Because I own this app, right? Nice. Yeah, cool. It's a file with a single number in it representing the app ID, which for Botland is this. Cool. Hey, Andrea. Yeah, so note that from the Electron app, I guess we'll just say like Electron app fails to start up. This is just a generic note, but if you ever have an error starting the app, e.g. this error, well, I'll just like that, then you should append the error text to the message it shows to the user. So in this case, we had modified this. Let's put this here. Error. There. And detail, we'll just write blah, this doesn't matter. Okay, so code and bold. See bolded section, bolded purple. If you have Steam running and chat connected, it should even say playing Botland compared to my screenshot. Also debate on adding file logging to the prod version for this specific place. So wait, where would I see this? Can I just hit the play button? No, that doesn't work. I don't know where that shows up. In the Steam chat. I don't know where that is. Friends in chat. I'm marked as invisible right now. It says I'm playing Space Wars. Did I revert this? Yeah, so here's what I'm seeing. I'm not going to show this entirely on screen, but it says I'm playing that fake Space Wars game. You have to be online. Yeah, Space Wars is the old one, but I used the new one here unless I didn't save that. Huh, weird. What did I modify then? Oh, I modified the development version of this. Whoops. Okie dokie. There we go. Now let's restart this. Now it should say I'm playing Botland. It worked. It worked, chat. I'm playing Botland now. So if I'm invisible, this doesn't show up? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Hey, Surly. Add me as a friend. Well, it should work. Although I don't mind adding you as a friend. I don't want to add just anybody. Lazy dev, just play this game. What a jerk. What a bad streamer. Okay, cool. So the app ID, I think we should be able to set to the real one now. Yeah, it wasn't working for me in Invisible either, because it doesn't show up any status there. I don't know if I want to make this change necessarily, but I will write this down as a change to be made. You can make a PR to update it. Yeah. So, all right, let's do this the right way then. Get diff, we just want to change app ID. So checkout source constants index. Checkout source main index. And now our only diff should be that one change. Yeah, so git commit, let's do it from here. Update app ID to be correct. Hey, Keto, do you have categories on your to-do file? Yeah, there are a bunch of headers I can go to here. So I can go to whatever, monetization tasks, for example. If it showed, that means your friends can see it, which is not what invisible is meant for. I understand, I guess. Yeah. I could see it working where you're invisible, so it just shows for you. I recognize it doesn't work that way. But yeah, so it was 480 before, which is the... Let me just look up Steam app 480. I know it's Space War, but I want to see what they say about it. I'll say which is the debug game Space War that everyone owns. Okay, and we'll push that. Assuming I was even on the right branch as I did that. Get branch master, yeah, that's fine. I'll just commit directly to master. Hey, Sam. And hey, Guy. Yeah, I think the to-do file has really helped. I like it. Enter passphrase. Okay, so now if we go to GitHub, we should see this. Steam. Yep, there it is. So we should see this right in here. Yep. Yeah, because this is the URL that we have for the game, and the app ID is always just right there in the URL. Which, by the way, if anyone hasn't clicked this button, should totally go click that. So I did not know this, but I think I said, oh, I wanted to get this online by like Monday or something. I don't think that's going to be possible because Steam has to review it. But I want to amend what I said to be that I want to have our part done by Monday if possible. It's just fun. Can you give me light about integration tests like SQL? How should it be? How do you write them? I don't think integration tests are... I don't know if you're asking because you want to know specifically with respect to the database, or if that's what you think they should involve. But in general, I think I would say make sure you're testing some functionality that's important to you and mocking everything else. So for example, I might have an API like, I don't know, color image red, and it takes in an image. And I might have a file like download image, and we might pass in like, you know, google.com/cats or something, .png. So you probably don't want to actually see if Google's working, right? So you might mock a function like this. With an integration test, you can either test to see if the parts that come together are working, or kind of the whole flow, in which case it's sort of an end-to-end test. End-to-end tests, see, this is really hard to talk about at a very high level and still give you some value. So I guess I'd want a more specific question. You mean on real database? So what I do, for example, is I just connect to a different database table. So normally it's localhost and botland, and for my thing it's like DB unit test is what I connect to instead. So there's just a different table, that's all. What's the advantage to you as a publisher when people add to wishlist? I have no idea. I've only heard that it's a good idea to do. So I've been asking people to do it. But I don't know. Hey, Rockstar. It's above Cyberpunk now. Nice. Yeah, thank you guys. All right, anything else that we need to do? Figure out how to sign the Electron build. I still need to do this myself. I'm not going to do this right now, though, because if I leak that certificate, oh, that would be bad. So we'll do this. I think that's what happens, DevCam. I think that more people see the game. And I think that you... Can you see your friends wish listing stuff? I don't know if that's possible. All right, anything else we have here? When finally selling salvage packs, include the percent chance of everything. Make sure that any countries that have banned cosmetic loot boxes are also banned from buying it. Make sure prices are reasonable. iOS guidelines are covered. Oh boy, I don't know about this. I'm sure launching monetization, add a metaverse. Yeah, okay. So I think we're done with everything we can do for right now. With monetization, excuse me. Yeah. I think that's it, because the only other part of itch integration that I could do is based on Leaf doing something. Yeah. And thank you, Rockstar. Used to be 50K to 100K gets you featured. Wow. Yeah, okay, well, we're very far from that. I checked yesterday, I think it was like 211 wish lists. So I don't expect that we're going to get any huge marketing bump from that. But I do think once the game is available and it's just free and you just click a button and you got it, I think that'll be pretty good. Oh, 10K, okay. I wasn't sure which one was the typo, because I assumed there was a typo here. I wasn't sure if you meant 50K and 100K or 5K and 10K. But either way, I don't think we're going to get to whatever those numbers are. Thank you, Tactics. Thank you all. All right, well, that was it for the automated tests. And I guess, let's see. Let's look at the roadmap. Time to use the mail or something. Market at all the people who already follow the stream. Oh, gotcha. I see. Gotcha, Ski Dog. Okay, so incorporate monetization. What do we still have left to do here? So there is the remaining itch work, waiting on Leaf. There's the iOS app work, the Android app work, and then for Steam, we have, I guess, a little bit of this, not too much. Is there any other server work that we need to do? I don't think so. Yeah, so then itch release and Steam release. This I have to talk to Leaf about. I'm gonna write a note to myself about this. And the Steam release, we still need to do the whole depots thing. Actually, there's probably a decent amount of work there. Oh, I gotta push my branch before I forget. Ooh. Can't just mess all this stuff up. AD itch end to end. Oh, this ended up being a little bit more than that. Oh well. We'll push. We'll let it run all the tests. We'll start a PR for this. So yeah, those three things. Man, user retention, while I think it improved slightly, I don't know how good it really is. I can show you guys these values that I have here. So also there are code timeouts now. I have a feeling someone is intentionally trying to do this because these hadn't happened for like 6 months. But anyway, these stats are, I think, what are pretty interesting. So full accounts created, guest accounts created, so 234 plus 163 plus 10. So we had this many new accounts in total, and then 460 logins, which means in the last week we had 53 logins that were not from new accounts. So in my mind, that's kind of like the steady player base of the game, which is like 53 players coming back from the last week. That's pretty bad. And I've always been aiming for this to be about 500. And I don't think it's growing right now. And I still think that's probably a user retention problem more than a marketing problem, because I think there are enough people who are downloading the apps and who are finding it through that. Because even when I wasn't streaming, there would be people who were filtering into the game. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, so the last 2 weeks, I don't think I'd been streaming at all. And the number of accounts created was like 350 and 380. And before that, I was 470. So there were still more than 700 new accounts created in the last 2 weeks. And yet, almost none of them returned to the game. What do I attribute the low attention rate to? I think there were a few things. I had this whole user retention note, and there were things that I wanted to try. I think not having a story is affecting a certain subset of the people who try the game out. And I think part of it is it's a niche game to begin with. So I've always kind of said this, but even let's say Botland were like the perfect version of the game that could be. If you sent 100 players to it, I think you'd end up with like whatever number, X. But if you sent 100 players to Fortnite, it'd probably be like 3 to 10x of how many people stick around from that. And I think that's just because of the genre of game. And I don't think it's perfect, so this is probably like, I don't know, X times 0.7 or something, and there's some room for improvement we can have. What percent of people complete the tutorial? That I can't show you without starting up a backend instance on AWS, but it's something close to 25%, I think. So it's like 25% of users will complete the tutorial. And the tutorial takes roughly 10 minutes to complete. Now, a lot of people might be like, all right, well, there's your problem, right? Well, even when the game had a skippable tutorial, or at least a more obviously skippable tutorial, I don't think user retention was any better. And I think the problem then was that people had no idea what they were doing in the game. And then they left because of that. So, sort of forcing people to do the tutorial was an intentional decision. Anyway, as far as this, I gotta make sure I wrote this down. Yeah. Yeah, so I still need to do more user studies and everything. I think I've been trying to focus almost all of my energy on these two things, which was monetization and launching on Steam. And so once I feel like I'm done with this, I feel like I can get back to marketing a little bit more. And it went up quite a bit. It used to be 10%. So I think that shows the tutorial's gotten a bit better. I don't remember what it used to be. That's the problem. I have dashboards for this stuff, and I could look at historical data too. But yeah, off the top of my head, I don't remember. So I can't tell you guys this. Well, okay, I think that's going to be it for today, because I don't think there's too much more I want to do on stream. Do you mind messaging me about a meeting time? I sent a couple of friends my defense link to get them to play the game. If you don't have an account and you enter a defense link, it does weird things. Starts the tutorial on my fully decked out defense. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you for telling me that, because that's the kind of thing that I am not aware of. I'll write that down as a bug. Yeah, for the Steam stuff that we talked about earlier in the week, Adair. Why the Kappa? Did I push this and did this work? Because that's where I'd left off with this. Also, is anyone streaming the game by any chance? Probably no. Probably I'll never see anybody here. Oh, this failed. Uh-oh. Wonder if it's a linting problem. It is a linting problem. And it's an overseer source REST client. So that's it. This is fixed now. Okay, it's linting error. Been there before, just not normally when you end. What do you mean, Goon? I don't know if I'm misinterpreting something. Also, while I am ending earlier than normal, I'm not like frustrated or anything. I just think there are things I need to do that don't involve the stream right now. And I told you guys the stream schedule will probably be erratic for the next month and a half, at least. Yeah, I will write this down for sure. Oh, stream botland before. Okay, yeah. I see. So make sure to push branch today. All right, I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go find someone to host really fast. Let's see who's online. I will go host this person. Okay. So yeah, take care. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again on Friday. There will be no stream tomorrow. My normal schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to join a Discord in the meantime, there's a link. So you guys keep being awesome, and I will see you guys on Friday.